So for the people out there that don't know, let us know who you are and how long you've been in the game.
I'm Nicholas. I come from Milan, Italy, and my street name or MC, aka is Egreen. And I put out my first demo in 2002, so it's been some years now.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's what's up, man. Man, 2002 to 2023, that's a long time. And I salute you on that, because that shows longevity and consistency. What drives you, man? What when you get up in the morning, what inspires you? What pushes you to keep going?
Well, I think it's very. I don't have any particular reasons. You speak my language in terms of music and what it means to have that hunger in making rap music.
Right.
So basically, rap is a very competitive sport.
Right.
And from my point of view, the only drive is always to be, most and foremost, better than I was on, let's say, my last album or my last song. But also, fortunately, there's a lot of cats out there who rap, who spit. The level keeps getting better in Europe also. So I always want to be better than the next guy, you know? I mean, that's my thing. So 49% being better than myself, 51%,
right.
Man, you're not better than me, you know? Like, that's the thing. I mean, I know you understand what I'm saying.
No, I do understand, and that's why I'm laughing, because when something hits home like that, it makes you laugh. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because I know how that is. Like, I'm constantly trying to outdo myself. I go back and I listen to Alphabetical Slaughter, and I'm like, how the fuck can I outdo this shit, man? There has to be a way I can do it better next time. So that's why you got Numerical Slaughter. You always see me doing different concepts. I'm always trying to outdo that song, and I always fail at that, man. But as far as the competitive nature, a lot of people nowadays, they don't like to admit that.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? But you've been doing it for a while, so you have no problem, and I appreciate your honesty.
I'm not ashamed of saying it.
Right. Listen, I'm trying to be better than you.
I mean, that's what after so many albums, you know, and plus, I know that because I listened to your raps through the years,
right.
And there's a difference between, you know, the flow MC and or the hype MC, but you're a technical MC. You know, I think that you care a lot about not only having that hype bar or that punchline, but it has to be technically on point. It has to be correct, and it has to hit the snare or the kick. You know what I mean? You know?
No, definitely.
And we are very obsessed with for example, me. I'm very obsessed with the technicality of the rhyme.
There you go.
It's not only about saying the nice thing. I mean, we have to be perfect saying it.
We have to be in
surgical.
There are a lot of rules to this. Like, I challenge myself.
Yeah.
If I say a word, I don't want to say the same word again.
Exactly.
Like, you just can't. There are unwritten rules about being an MC.
Yeah.
And I think the true MCs, we follow them rules. The fake MCs, they don't. They just say abba-dabba-ka-doo, and they keep going in.
You said it, not me.
Well, you brought it out of me, man, and it's a good point.
It is.
Because it's an unspoken language.
Yeah.
Like when you said a couple steps back, you said, yo, you speak my language. You told me that. And I totally agree with you on that. Because I promise you, when I'm writing a rhyme, I follow a set of rules. It's just, you just don't do certain shit. Like, you said that, I said a word previously, you can't say that word again.
Exactly.
If you're creating a rap, it has to fit perfectly. I should be able to see it on a paper without hearing it, and the words should be able to match. Like, I'm a perfectionist like that.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm a weirdo when it comes to this shit. But
it's some sort of autism almost, you know?
Right.
Like, and plus, back in, I don't know if it was 97, 98, you were in an album of a very technical MC from Queens, which is Kool G Rap.
Yeah.
And so we just really come from those teachers that brought us those unwritten laws. And people, you know, and people don't really care if, they don't even mind if they hear the same rhyme of Papoose on an album or another, but we always remember, I said that word, I spit that bar last time, no, I have to change it, I have to make it, and it has to make sense.
That's right.
At the same time,
Perfect sense.
it has to make perfect sense.
Perfect sense, man. What would you say is the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your career?
Probably when I had an album with a major label deal that it didn't go so well. After that, you really think it's time to give up, or you think it's time to hang the mic, and you think a lot of stuff. You think, oh man, I had my run, didn't go well. I did everything I could have done, and I had to overcome that sense of wanting to give up, which happened in 2019.
Wow.
And that was probably the biggest obstacle I had to come through to continue making music.
Wow. I kind of had an experience like that too as well. I came to a space, I mean, I wouldn't say at the time I felt like giving up, but in hindsight, it's very much similar to what you went through. So I came to a point where I said, you know what, I'm going to retire. I've been doing this so long, I want to know who I am outside of this.
Exactly.
But in the process of me doing that, I found out this is who I am. This is what I love to do, because in the process of retiring, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop an album every month. And then when it comes to December, I'm just gonna retire. But it was crazy when I started doing that. So many legends, so many legendary producers and artists. Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. I can keep going, just to name them. Rick Ross, Swiss Beats, Timbaland. All these great producers started sending me beats and sending me verses and working. And it made me say to myself, what I'm leaving for?
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet,
you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know how that is going through that situation, but naturally, the game pulled me back in. So it reassured me that this is where I belong. Man.
I want to be able to become, for young, talented guys that are aggressive as me and stubborn as me, I want to become for them what I didn't have when I needed. So I don't want to give up rapping, but I really want to start a process in which when I see a guy that wants to spit bars, I can tell him, listen, you're choosing the hardest road ever, but there's some advice I can give you. And so based on what happened in New York in the 90s, that there were a lot of indie labels, that's the example that I have. That I would really like to build something from nothing.
Right. How long have you been on TuneCore?
I've been on TuneCore since 2022.
Okay.
Came back from Colombia, I stayed there 1 year. I came back with nothing, and I was like, that was after the thing that I told you about before.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. Well, let's go indie, let's do it all by ourselves, and I did it. I mean, I did it. I put out music by myself with TuneCore.
Right. So would you say it was your experiences in the music business that gravitated you towards being independent and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think that there are different kinds of things for different kinds of artists, but for people like us, the only way is to be really in possession of all the operations that need to be done to put out your music. This is my humble opinion. Probably there's people who think it another way, but I really think the only key is to be in possession of what you do and what you have.
That's right.
Knowing what's happening.
That's dope, man. That's great advice you gave for the upcoming artists, and keep doing your thing, man. I'm glad you decided not to give up, man.
Thank you, man.
No doubt.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise.